agenda tonight. The first one would be an amendment to the minutes for the special meeting of February 23rd, where the last motion states motion that for lack of support, it should say motion carried unanimously. The second one is a motion to receive and file a resolution on the campaign to take on hate in the city of Taylor. That'll be item 5A. 5B will be a motion to approve the fire department to apply for the 2015 staffing for adequate fire and emergency response, also known as the SAFER grant. And 5C, I believe the mayor will be bringing something up. 5C. Thank you.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. May I have a motion for the acceptance of the minutes of the meetings of February 17th and February 23rd, 2015, and dispense with the oral reading?
Motion to approve. Support.
Motion to approve by Councilwoman Croft, supported by Councilman Garza. Is there any discussion?
We just did.
Sorry, must have been sleeping there for a second. Any discussion on that? I guess not. All those in favor say yes?
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Mayor?
Madam Chair, I'll turn 5A over to Councilman Garza, and I'll let him talk about the resolution, introduce our distinguished guests that are with us tonight, and read the actual resolution into the record.
Excellent. Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to call up a few folks from the campaign to take on hate. Former State Representative Rashida Tlaib. Yes, you want to come up? And I just wanted to read the resolution. There's been a lot of talk amongst the United States and many different city councils, townships, and states across the nation about the campaign to take on hate. And the city of Taylor will be the second municipality in Michigan to pass a resolution of this sort. Detroit was the first municipality to take on this issue, and Taylor will be the second in Michigan. I think also the Michigan Democratic Caucus in the House of Representatives. Bipartisan effort as well in the House. So I'd like to just read the resolution and then hand the floor over to former Representative Tlaib. It's the City of Taylor Take on Hate Resolution, where the City of Taylor supports and protects all of its citizens, no matter of their religion and ethnicity. And whereas we support the campaign to take on hate and commit to calling out hate and discrimination when we see it and help promote our core American values that no one should be targeted because of faith or ethnicity. And whereas Take on Hate calls upon all Americans to address the current acceptability of prejudice, to stand up against violence, and to take on hate. And whereas as public servants, we have an even greater responsibility to speak out against discrimination and hatred, because when the unacceptable becomes the norm in our society, human rights for all are threatened. And whereas the campaign to take on hate helps build a greater capacity for understanding all communities across the United States, and whereas the campaign for Take on Hate is a national grassroots movement that finds standing on the sidelines while fellow Americans get attacked and vilified is simply wrong and goes against everything for which our country stands. Therefore, be it resolved, the City of Taylor acknowledges the ideals of the campaign to take on hate and agrees to protect all of its citizens and families, no matter their religion or ethnicity. And be it further resolved that we are proud to stand with all Americans, regardless of their ethnicity or religion, and together we stand against those who preach hate and incite violence.
Thank you so much, Councilman Garza. I've never been used to calling him that. But I want to really thank you all, council members, and especially my friend, Councilman Garza, for recognizing the importance of promoting who we are as Americans. Diverse nation, country of heightened understanding and of fairness. The issue here is very personal to me as a Muslim American. As a former state representative who served Michigan families with tremendous amount of love and desire to see my residents' lives better, I could never have imagined a few weeks ago some of the tremendous amount of violence towards people of Muslim faith. My son, Adam, who's 9 years old, who Councilman Garza has known since a baby, brought me to tears a few weeks ago. He overheard my husband and I discuss a cartoon in the USA Today depicting Muslims as Nazis. And it was very painful for us to see that image. He came up to me and he says, "Mama, don't worry. If anyone asks if I'm Muslim, I will lie and tell them I am not." I not only cried because of Adam's reaction, but because of the alarming increase in hateful statements about Muslims in reaction towards them. Sadly and disappointingly, people actually believe in the rhetoric, as you probably know. Only a week ago, we saw brutal killings of young college students, a secondary school being shot up, a mosque being, a place of worship being put in blaze of fire from a person committing hate crime, and a number of women who wear the headscarf being spit on and hit. As a former member again of the Michigan House, I was once asked, as a joke from my colleague, for my birth certificate in committee. Although the audience gasped when he asked me, no one called him out for it, and the silence and inaction by those present made it more painful. The campaign to take on hate is more than promoting positive images of Arab Americans and Muslim Americans. It sets a culture in our country that standing on the sideline while fellow Americans get attacked and vilified is simply wrong and goes against everything our country stands for. Take on Hate helps my son Adam and others understand that their diversity is a strength, that those that think otherwise are un-American. Allowing our children to grow up fearful of revealing their faith jeopardizes the foundation of our country. We allow the terrorist thugs and murderers win when hate and violence reaches our country because of their horrendous actions. By joining the Take on Hate today, you all are committing to call out hate when you see it and condemn violence against a group of people solely because of their religion or their ethnicity. By passing this resolution, you are helping protect Taylor families and sending a strong message that you won't stand for hate and violence in your city. Engaging our neighbors and colleagues and public servants like yourselves who are not of Arab descent or of Muslim faith is critical in combating increasingly negative images that are leading to criminal acts of violence against places of worship, schools, and now even our homes. It is our responsibility to speak up with our Latino, Asian, African American women, the disabled, our veterans, our seniors, and so many others that can be targeted because of hate. And together we can protect our core American values, and it starts with all of you as local public servants like yourselves. So again, I thank you for your leadership today, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
I made the motion, Madam Chair.
Support. Motion by Councilman Garza to approve the City of Taylor Take on Hate resolution, supported by Councilwoman Croft. Is there any discussion? Yes, sir.
Butch Ramik, City of Taylor, Monroe. I think this is a very good idea. I totally agree with it. The issue of hate is nothing new to this country. It's been here a long time. I just wish to ask this question, and it's very important because it's something that we should understand, that when this council votes, are we voting to support the organization, or are we just supporting not to hate? Are we supporting this organization, or are we just in voting not to hate?
Madam Chair, I think that, if I may, that I'm not sure if you read the resolution on the back table.
Yeah.
However, this council, as well as everyone else, I think we can all agree that we're all condemning hate here by passing this resolution tonight.
The question still would be then, you are agreeing to support the organization that is. Is that correct?
I believe we're supporting the ideals of the organization.
Okay, the ideas. I wonder if we could have a member of the organization come back up and explain to us the policies that they will work to change. I haven't listened.
So
one of the policies is to end racial profiling and some of the targeting and so forth. Yeah, creating oversight over national law. Yeah, so some of those. No. But you should know that these are about core American values and they stand against hate. They don't necessarily are endorsing in this resolution any policy that we stand for. And honestly, we just won't want anything that promotes any kind of violence or incites violence. And sometimes policies do that. But this council is not doing that today. What they're doing is standing by their residents who are of our different faiths, no matter what their faith. In this case, it might have been focused, and we do focus on all hate towards anyone. But I'm not going to allow what's happening in other countries impact who we are as a country. And this is what this is about today. And they actually have a tremendous amount of courage and are more American in their action today than they ever will be probably in the future of any kind of act. Maybe. So I really think that this is about those principles and those values and foundation of who we are, not necessarily these policies. And if you read the resolution, I think that's what they're standing up against.
I agree with you, but I'd like to read what the organization likes to change.
But they're not supporting the organization.
Okay, I just want them to know that you are part of that organization, aren't you?
Yeah.
Thank you. Policy we will work to change. Creating an oversight over national watch list mechanism for being removed from those from the list that are basically being improperly profiled. Creating a White House task force to prevent and respond to hate violence targeting Arab, Hindu, Middle Eastern, Muslim, South Asian communities. Conducting congressional hearings around post 9/11 abuses and profiling and creating official record of those cases, calling for the Department of Justice to investigate surveillance by local police departments. Pass the Interracial Profiling Act, revise the Department of Justice racial profiling guidelines. Now, in my opinion, we have plenty of laws in this country to protect them. Today, Ferguson got hit by the Justice Department for violating people's rights. I have no problem with disagreeing with hate. I've seen it. I've been around the world. I've seen what it can do. And I totally agree with what they say about hate.